All right, let's bring this meeting back to order.
You better do it louder.
Okay,
I just make a motion that we instate the regular numeric sequence of the agenda.
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Now we're going to go right back to our normal meeting, starting with ordinance number 96-2013.
I'd like to offer ordinance number 96, 2013 for its second reading by title only.
An ordinance changing the pay grade of the Assistant Building Commissioner from pay grade 9 to pay grade 11 and amending ordinance 47, 2012.
Moving on, ordinance number 97-2013.
I'd like to offer ordinance number 97, 2013 for its second reading by title only.
An ordinance amending ordinance 42, 2013 with regard to the pay grade for the position of full-time administrative assistant of the Macedonia Service Department.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance number 98-2013.
I'd like to offer ordinance number 98, 2013 for its second reading by title only.
An ordinance establishing the part-time position of public records clerk within the office of the mayor and establishing compensation therefore.
Ordinance number 99-2013.
I'd like to offer ordinance number 99, 2013 for its second reading by title only.
An emergency ordinance amending the codified ordinance, section 1171-15B, to allow a storage barn as a non-residential use in residential district, in a residential district.
Okay, now we're going to move back to ordinance number 108-2013.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance number 108, 2013 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a political subdivision participation agreement with Summit County for the purposes of obtaining health care coverage for all eligible Macedonia employees for a 3-year term.
And what's your pleasure?
I move that we pass and post ordinance number 108, 2013, according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Darrow?
Yes.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Mulner?
Yes.
Ordinance number 108, 2013 passes. Just a little explanation. The city was the member of a group of municipalities in western Ohio, and we had a 3-year contract, and by negotiating that, we were able to keep rates very, very compatible and affordable. And our contract runs out at the end of this year. So we went shopping. Macedonia has a unique system when it comes to its hospitalization. In many cities, the mayor says, okay, we're going to go with this company and that's that, but not in Macedonia. In Macedonia, the mayor and his staff works with representatives from our unions, representatives from our employees that are called the task force. And that task force meets and works with our HR department so that we can discuss, so that we can all have a hand in saying not only what's best for the employees, but they also look out for the city. So in doing this, we came out with going with the county because, number one, the county offered a program that's very similar to ours. Number two, it's going to be just about what we were spending. If we would have stayed with Borma, which was the group of municipalities we were with, our hospitalization would have went up 25% at least. When they said that, they said to start with, it'll go up 25%. So what a stroke of luck that our contract's up. So we will be pulling out of that group, and now we're going with the county. The county has an excellent program, and the cost is very, very similar to what we were paying. It's very close. I think it's within $10 a person, so. All right, moving on. Let's talk about ordinance number 109, 2013.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance 109, 2013 for first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending and supplementing the 2013 annual appropriations ordinance 21, 2013.
And what's your pleasure?
Before we vote on it, Scott, could you give a thumbnail sketch as finance director of what we're doing here?
Yes, sir. It's just merely, this is pass-through money. It doesn't affect the budget. And when the county disperses its second half settlement fees, there's fees that they take out, real estate tax refunds, there are auditor fees that they keep for themselves for processing it. And the only other thing on there, other than directly related to the county fees, is this wetlands mitigation project. And that was a project that our service department took on, and we had to do under order by the Army Corps engineer. So the total amount of money that we spent on this project was $48,108. And Jim Diglatano and his crew were successful in doing this, and we actually, our law director is holding money in escrow to pay for this. So I just need this approval to pay for the bills. And actually, our city employees, Jim and his staff have been tracking the number of hours and his equipment on the site as well, and we'll get reimbursed that money based on a formula that we have for the equipment and the actual cost of the manpower. So it was a project that needed done. It's been years, as many of you know, and he did it in less than 2 weeks' time. So it was really a great job.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mayor, I move that we pass and post according to law ordinance 109, 2013.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Darrow?
Yes.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Mulner?
Yes.
Ordinance number 109, 2013 passes. Thanks, Dave and Scott, for the explanation. Ordinance number 110, 2013.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance number 110, 2013 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Opposed? Roll call.
Ms. Darrow?
Yes.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Mulner?
No.
So I don't have enough for suspension of rules.
Mayor, if I may explain briefly, whenever we've done an occupancy program grant in the past, we've done it in 3 readings, and I wanted to keep that continuation of doing that, so that's my reason for the no vote.
I think it's very important to realize, Mr. Mayor, that we are coming out of a recession. The city during that time has accumulated more than $1 billion in surplus funds, and those who sleep weep later because they have missed an opportunity to take a bite of the apple. We have a company here which has approximately 36 employees. Scott, can you tell us how much income tax this would generate for us?
$36,000 annually, which would be, we would split that with them, so we'd share $18,000 over a period of 6 years. Each year, $18,000 would mean for the city.
They are relocating from another community to Macedonia, at least they have so indicated. And I think that it is sending an incorrect message to these people. That somehow they're going to have to wait, their plans are going to be placed in, could be placed in jeopardy to locate to the city. And we could use that money to repair roads, to help our senior citizens, and to resolve some of the problems that we have in the community. So this is a very, very disappointing outcome.
Mayor, when do they plan to move into the building?
Scott, I'm sorry, Nick, I can't answer that.
Scott,
Scott?
when do they plan?
When are they planning? They were hoping to, as early as November 1st. I mean, it's a strict timeline. He, the broker actually contacted me probably, and then he FedExed his application to me on, got the receipt here.
I would respectfully ask Mr. Molnar, perhaps that you could change your mind, please.
I'd respectfully decline. I think the protocol that we've continued with every other company that has come in, this is something that we knew we were always going to do. The reason for this is we wanted to be cautious. The situation we ran into with the Girl Scouts is why we do this. We've talked about this ad nauseum, why we want to take our time and make sure that everything, all the ducks are in a row. I mean, if we're going to change the protocol, that should have been identified prior to this meeting. I understand the tax implications, but we're not going to change the protocol just on a dime.
The only thing I wish, Mr. Molnar, you would have done was that you have given at least Scott and the mayor a call. You didn't call myself either to question or bring up this objection. I just hope that this city doesn't lose tax revenue because of what this company may perceive as an indecisive council and perhaps a community that is not really interested in welcoming them.
Well, considering we've done this with every other company, I would have thought that that would have been explained prior to them signing the document, so.
I'm not
That's kind of where
totally,
we stand at this
I'm
point.
I'm not sure you're correct on that, Mr. Molnar. We have expedited these MOPS before.
Can you tell me which
And,
ones?
Pardon?
Can you tell me which ones?
Yeah. We expedited the one that involved the folks who located here from Youngstown. Which one was that, Don?
That was, they made carpentry company on Roland Hall,
Spend and
Scott.
supply?
Bennett Supply.
So at any rate, I just hope that, Scott, Mr. Mayor, could you please communicate to these people that we really want them to move into our community?
I certainly will, and I'll also explain to them that we had an absence tonight, and that helped with delaying it.
Because we've made a great deal of progress repairing the finances of our city. And I think we need to continue to do that and welcome business into our community and let them know that we need and want them here.
You betcha. All right, ordinance number 111, 2013.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to offer ordinance number 111, 2013 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending section 132702H of the codified ordinances of the City of Macedonia, extending the deadline for certificates of exterior inspections for rental properties to March 1, 2014.
Pardon me, Mr. Mayor.
Just before you start, Ken, if I could have Mike speak a little bit to this, because I think this is a big step. A lot of times people think that the city don't care, and we do. We care how our city looks, so if something isn't right, citations are given out or we warn people. But this is an effort by Mike and his department to make everything equitable and fair. So you want to explain it, please, Mike?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Basically, the deadline is now in September, and when people get the violations in September, there's not much time to do painting and fix up around the house before the bad weather sets in, as everybody experienced today and this week. So we're moving it to the spring, and it gives them plenty of time to get their violations done, if any.
Okay, thank you. Ken, what's your pleasure?
I move that we pass ordinance number 111-2013.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Darrow?
Yes.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Molnar.
Yes.
Ordinance 111, 2013 passes. Resolution number 112, 2013.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer resolution 112-2013 for first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Summit County Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the Summit County officer.
Before we go any further, quick explanation, Scott.
Yes, sir. This is a resolution we have to do every year, just authorizing the county to collect on our behalf the property taxes.
And what's your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, move that we pass and post ordinance 112, 2013 according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Darrow?
Yes.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Molnar.
Yes.
Resolution number 112, 2013 passes. Are there any other motions or legislative actions this evening?
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion that the property and the situation at 9129 Valley View Road be considered a hardship and remain therefore.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Ms. Darrow?
Yes.
Mr. Engel?
Mr. Deemer, what effect will this motion have? That was my major concern.
I don't know of any authority for council to act in the place of the BZA and declare a hardship. There's no application to council, so I don't know of anything in the charter that would authorize it, but I'm just hearing about it for the first time.
Right. We just heard about it a few minutes ago, and I was wondering what the, can we take this off the table until we can at least talk to Mr. Deemer more about it?
I'd rather we have a vote.
All right, well, I'm going to have to vote no.
Mr. Martin?
Again, I agree with Mr. Engel. We have not had time to discuss this measure. There is a separation of powers within our charter which allows council certain authority in particular areas and allows the BCA authority in the area of granting hardships and making a determination where a hardship exists. That determination of whether or not there is a hardship, the proper body, the proper locus of that decision should be the BZA. And for that reason, I'm going to join Mr. Engel also in voting no, simply because I honestly feel that we need more time to discuss this. And let me add one more thing here too. I just really feel that this is something that we need to discuss and involve our city planner in, and we need to make a little more, need a little more information before we can really make a good determination here.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And Mr. Molnar?
I just want to be clear, I tend to err on the side of caution, and the points brought up by our legal director and Mr. Engel and Mr. Martin, I think are prudent, so my vote's no.
All right, the motion fails, but if I might, this is a really tough one where we want to try and protect our city and our image and also try and work with our residents. So I would like to make a suggestion in the future for you to consider, that you let me take responsibility for this and go with the citizen to reappear before the BZA. I would ask council to waive the fees. One of the problems we have here is we have tough rules, and rules have to be followed, but I spent a lot of time thinking about how we might be able to accomplish what needs to be done in a way that would work for both the city and for the resident. At the next meeting, I can give you the details of that. I'm asking you to consider allowing me to take responsibility, putting this just on its second reading, and follow through with the resident, with our law director, with the BZA, and see if we can bring this to an amicable solution. And I will appear before the BZA with this gentleman. All right, are there any other motions or legislative actions? Hearing none, is there any correspondence from the clerk?
I have several, sir. Dear Chief Golden, I just wanted to take a moment to personally thank you for taking the time out of your schedule on Friday to be our ALICE facilitator and trainer during our 2013 Staff Professional Development Day. The information and skill set that you provided to our staff is invaluable. It is my hope that we never are required to put these skills to use, but our staff is now better prepared knowing that they have strategies to use should a crisis ever strike Nordonia schools. I certainly appreciate you sharing your knowledge and experience with us. The relationship our schools have with you, the Macedonia Police and Fire Departments, as well as all the other local safety forces, is tremendous. I look forward to continued work with you and your colleagues as we strive to make our schools as safe as possible for all our students, staff, and visitors. Business Director Thomas Hartman, obviously of the Nordonia Hills School System. To the City of Macedonia, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Jim DiGitano and the following team for a job well done. We are very pleased with the work they did on our driveway, putting in the new water drain pipes. It really makes a big difference in the water flow and eliminates the flooding we were dealing with. Thank you again to the entire team, and basically the resident has listened. Brian Schulman, Sam Cizik, Bruce Bontempo, Gary Brown, John Nonavenge, Bob Blazik, Angelo Mortarello, you would think I wish you get that one right. Rob, help me here, Jim. Rob,
Przbilski.
thank you, and Bill Hissam. This is from Hensel Swain on East Aurora Road. That's it, sir.
Very, very good. We'll move right on into the mayor's report, and I'll just start off by telling you we started our leaf collection. We kind of have a pattern. We usually start at the south end of Macedonia, work north. We're hoping to make 3 passes and to have the city clean the leaf clutter by Thanksgiving. So that's our goal. Now, please try and keep the leaf piles free of tree limbs and clutter. A leaf machine is basically a big vacuum cleaner. Tree limbs can cause breakdowns that can destroy our plans and our routes to service you. And wet leaves also cause delays. Frozen leaves can't be picked up. So our rounds are definitely controlled by Mother Nature, but we're going to do our very best. Remember to get the My Macedonia app. It makes contacting your city by phone a lot easier if you have a smartphone. You can also get updated information that is displayed on our website. You can even watch council meetings and cable events such as candidate interviews for the upcoming election on your smartphone. Also on our webpage is the Channel 3 newscast that seems to have generated peace and quiet, and a reaction from Norfolk Southern Railroad regarding the Ledge Road Bridge. The peace and quiet is hearing less and less whistles. I don't know if anybody's really noticed it, but start to pay attention. Less less all the time. To some of that, our residents, that's a very big deal. Getting complaints was a common occurrence in my office, even though we don't have any authority to make them stop. 1 week after the newsreel played, the whistle started to diminish, and we were contacted by the railroad's law department regarding the Ledge Road Bridge. So if you want to see that spot on Channel 3, you can get it right off our website, on your smartphone or on your computer. I thank Channel 3 and newscaster Jack Marshall. It was very, very informative and had the news anchor actually saying this clearly needs to be done. And that's a good thing because it went out to a lot of people, and that shows you the power of the media. Getting a right turn in and out for the Crossing Shopping Center on the corner of Route 8 and Route 82 is moving ever so slowly. We've done everything on our end as the city can bring, as we can, to bring it to a reality. Now it's up to the tenants and the landlords there. I would like to thank Chick-fil-A franchise owner Dan Stanko, great guy, hard worker, and he's given us outstanding efforts to carry the ball and generate interest to move forward with this project. But in order for this project to move forward, and I think we all realize how good it would be to be able to access that shopping center off Route 8, in order for it to move forward, we have to have 65% of the people that own property there on board with it, because it'll be paid for with their money, not the city's. How will that be done? Well, it could be assessments. We could get the Port Authority involved. I mean, we have some different options, but we need to get 65% on board first. There's, I believe, 13 different landowners there. So to me, it seems like a no-brainer. I can only think of improvements as far as profitability by doing this, but there's a lot of improvements by giving us options in case we should have any more water main breaks on Route 82. In fact, that shopping center has been shut down by 2 already. Getting a, I'm sorry. Supposed to turn the page when you're done with it. The city has a healthcare task force, as I said, made up of our union stewards and staff to address mutual interests such as hospitalization. This system was started 9 years ago, works very well. By working together, we come up with solutions such as the legislation that appeared before council tonight. So it really is a win-win, folks, for the employees and for the city. The forthcoming elections are to fill 3 of our council seats, along with deciding many important issues. You see them out there being advertised. Starting in 2014, the mayor will no longer break legislative ties here in Macedonia. There will only be a total of 5 council representatives. 3 is a majority. 3 seats are open. So upcoming elections are key to the success of your city, so please vote. After many years of consternation, the mound reclamation restoration is completed. The mound was located behind the Great Escape, located in the Jed Conservancy over there by Lowe's. We are held responsible by the Army Corps of Engineers, even though we had nothing to do with it appearing there. The dirt had to be moved around just so. And that's all dictated by them. You have to move this here, you have to move that there. We are even responsible for reseeding the area. If you look behind the Great Escape, it's all weeds. But because it's a conservancy, we're responsible to reseed it. Well, I can see that. All right, so we'll throw some mulch out or anything, you know, get it started, and then the weeds will take over. Oh, no. Can't do that. The type of seed we need is specified, and it's over $134 a pound. You gotta be kidding me. So, we have no say. It was a job that was tackled by our own service department under Jim Digatano. He and his men took on a job that at one time was predicted to break the city. It was. That mound came up to the forefront right around 2009. Right around 2009, we were cutting 10% right off the top, laying off police officers, laying off firemen, and we got a mound that we have to deal with. Well, a little bit of luck was on our side because the particular engineer from the Army Corps of Engineers that was in charge of that moved on to another position. And the new person that came into that position never said a word to us for 2 years. So we got a little respite, thank God. We were able to recoup a little bit. The city's stronger, we're getting better all the time. But that job, if we'd had to do it when they first started talking about it, the cost that they wanted it done for was abhorrent. I think we were talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Jim came in with his men, got the job done in record time, and I'm telling you, that's grabbing the bull by the horns. He came in here with his men, and they moved the dirt, and they did everything they had to do, and if you watched them, it was almost like watching the ballet. These guys know what they're doing. They are not just broom pushers. They're not just leaf picker-uppers. They're much more than that. And I really want to thank you, a special thanks, Jim, for getting that done and for saving so much money. Thank you. All right, remember not to pay NEORSD. Bad word, bad letters. Do not pay them. They might appear as a charge on your stormwater, on your water bill, but it's for stormwater, and we don't pay that. They've been stopped. And Halloween will be Thursday, October 31st, 6 to 8, so watch out for the little ones. All right, moving on to, next on the agenda is our committee reports.
Mr. Mayor, Planning Committee reports, the meeting was held October 15, 2013. We had a proposed interest sign relocation for Greystone Village, a proposed awning to Don Bash Jewelers located at 509 East Aurora Road, proposed side yard adjustment to 8540 Bella Drive in Villas of Taramina, proposed Gordon Food Service Building, whoops, my thing's going out, a proposed Gordon Food Service Building to be located at partial 3312797, located at Alexandria Way, East Aurora Road. Proposed electric vehicle charging station equipment at 8210 Macedonia Commons Boulevard. Regarding the electric vehicle charging station equipment at 8210 Macedonia Commons Boulevard, we will be having a public hearing regarding the proposal at a special planning meeting scheduled November 4th at 5:30. Immediately after the public hearing, we will go into a special planning meeting regarding the proposal. The next Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for October 28, 2013 at 5:30. Before us will be a proposed sign to Pizza Hut. Let's see, at 613 East Aurora Road. Proposed use plan change to Longwood Manor at 1634 East Aurora Road. Discussion regarding changing Planning Commission meetings from a bi-weekly to monthly. The Planning Commission will be holding another public hearing regarding another matter on November 11, 2013. Planning meeting will start at 5:15, and then immediately after that, we'll go into our planning meeting at 5:30, and that's all.
Very good. And don't forget, that's just another thing that you can actually watch on our website. It's recorded. We had an absence last planning meeting, so I think it's the first one that wasn't recorded in a long time. But you can go on your website, on your computer, and also on your iPhone, and look under news items, and you can catch up on all kinds of things.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to point out that I want to thank council for hiring 2 new police officers, dispatchers, part-time firemen. Council has worked very, very hard over the last 2, 3, 4 years to bring our safety forces to the point now where we have regained some of the ground that we lost during the recession. And Mr. Engel is our finance chair and council working together, along with you, Mr. Mayor, I believe have done a very, very good job in the teeth of a very difficult recession. And we are really up to full strength at this point.
You're right. It's a great feeling. Thank you. Are there any other committee reports tonight? Hearing none, let's move on to Jim and department reports.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As the Mayor stated, the LEAF program has started. We started with 1 machine, and that's been out since Monday. Starting this next Monday, we'll have 2 machines out, and then by the first full week of November, all 3 machines will be out. I'm going to ask everybody, please, to rake often so that we can keep it moving. There's some people, every year they wait till the last minute. If you keep raking, we can get these things picked up. And if you can, try to keep them away from the mailboxes and out of the ditch lines. When you put them in the ditch lines and we can't get there before a heavy rain or snow, what you're doing is you're plugging all the culvert pipes. So if you can, keep them on the ditch lines. We'll move them to where we need to vacuum. Okay. The next thing is North Bedford. We're finally doing that, and I want to make everybody understand why it's been such a delay. Every part of this job, there's utilities. Today I had to redesign and a catch basin and plus move it because it's right by, the original is right on top of a 6-inch gas main. So we had to move it and switch things around. If you go down North Bedford, you'll see a humongous hole. Well, that's what we have to do to get it started. And then every yard thereafter, we have to move gas lines and water lines to put all the piping in. So there'll be delays, but it will get done. It's going to take longer than we anticipated. Also, I want to let everyone know that we are doing some spot repairs throughout the town. We're hitting Blueberry, Meadowlawn, Bradford, Barkdale, Bonnie, Air Lane, Florence, Bobolink, and the Waters. And then we're also going to try to get some sections of Valley View, which are right along by the assisted living and by Terramina and under the railroad bridge, because we put thousands of tons of coal patch there every year. So what we're going to do is just try to get it fixed so that we won't have that problem this year. And Mr. Molnar's more than aware of what goes on Valley View.
Yeah, he's our watchdog over
He
there.
drives it every day. So
Yes.
he'll call me and let me know that pothole popped open again.
It's how come he knows
And
about the barn.
also, we're getting our trucks ready for our favorite weather, winter, and we have some trucks ready to roll for that in case anything happens. And that concludes my report.
And that's all happening at the same time you're doing a job to save the city's butt with the Corps of Engineers. And actually, the redesigning you're doing is to be commendable, because instead of waiting for the gas company to come out and look at it and talk about it, you're just going ahead and going with Plan B. That's good stuff, Jim.
They said it would take 1 year
Oh.
to move that line, so we're just gonna
Good stuff.
do what we have to do. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mike?
Thanks, Mayor. Residential update, new home starts 39, homes under construction are 64. additions 13 and 42 alterations. Between point of sale and rental inspections, we've done 401, 482 zoning violation letters have gone out, and 104 noxious weed citations. Commercial update, we have 27 new businesses to date. Exterior remodeling and additions, 8. We have 6 under construction and 15 renovations. Building department is looking into fees and possibly changing some in 2014. Last update was 2009, and we'll see if it's needed. We're getting surrounding communities and trying to put a matrix together to see if our fees are in line or way too low still or what. That concludes my report. Jackie Hale from GPD Group is going to be doing the engineering report. Jackie is a very valuable professional engineer. She's usually behind the scenes, so I thought it'd be nice for her to come and everybody to meet her because she does a good portion of the work with GPD. Thank you, Mayor.
Very good. Now, Jackie, I'm going to get to you and ask you for a report, so, get ready. Okay. Angela.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple upcoming program announcements. We have both ballet classes and tap classes beginning for 3 to 6-year-olds on Tuesday evenings starting November 5th. We have foil fencing starting up again on Saturdays beginning November 2nd. As a matter of fact, Paula Fowles, who we recognize this evening, has participated in that class the last several times that we've taken that. So you can come joust with Paula if you would like. Lastly, I've been in communication with several amusement ride companies trying to determine a set of dates for Community Festival in 2014. So hopefully I will have dates to bring to you by the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good job. All on top of being on jury duty, too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Scott.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank council as well for passing ordinance number 108, which arguably could be the most important legislation piece you passed tonight for the whole year. Borma, which we attend and we're a voting member of, we're leaving that pool. And just some history, when we joined 3 years ago from the prior finance director's recommendations, we did save a lot of money. But the pool basically has had some own financial problems, and we're lucky to be able to have that 3-year contract and to get out of it. And I want to thank also Tom Hanslick with his direction on being able to exit the pool legally and to protect ourselves from run-out claims. The actuarian actually from Borma wanted the board to vote on a 36.4% increase of our premium. The board balked at that, but realizing that it could become insolvent, they settled for the 25%. And 25% was voted on October 17th, and that's why we had to wait to the final decision of the board before we came to council. And then gave them, that day when we returned from the directors' meeting, we gave them our final official notice that we were exiting. The 25% would have cost us over $255,000 a year. And if we did the 36% that they recommended, it would have been $355,000. So it would have been almost $1 million at the 36% that this council saved by moving over to the county plan. And this has been long in the making. We've been talking to vendors, 4 different quotes since June. And as the mayor said, we have a task health force that's composed of the union stewards and the representatives from each department. So this has been a long journey, and it's not going to be a seamless transition. There's going to be a little bit different on the service end of it, but because the provider's still Medical Mutual, it's probably going to be as good as it gets. And it really protects the city for the next 3 years, hopefully on spikes in health care claims. So again, I want to thank everyone.
And actually, that's the absolute truth. Thank you very much, council, for reacting so fast with us because we're under the gun, so to speak. Our hospitalization ends at the end of December. There's only a few number of council meetings left in the year, so we wouldn't have time. So all the employees owe you a debt of gratitude for bing, bang, boom, getting this through today because we would have had problems otherwise. Thank you. All right, Tim?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to thank council for the appointments tonight. They went through quite a rigorous application process, and they all did extremely well. They were highly recommended by the third-party testing doctors and polygraphs and physical testing that they did. They were all recommended very highly. Our Halloween is coming up. Trick or Treat is Thursday, October 31st. Make sure we wear brightly colored clothes and we don't wear any masks that hinder our vision. If you're a young child, make sure you're with an adult. Of course, we'll have all our fire trucks out going through the neighborhoods just in case we have any emergencies. We can be very quickly on scene. With Paula's retirement, we're now currently down 5 people. With the 2 hires, we're down 3 people. We had a retirement of Kelly Wampum after 20 years, Phil Isaac at 20 years, and we had 2 other people leave with resignation. So you're going to see some advertising for some part-time firefighter paramedics, and hopefully we'll be coming back up with 3 more people coming up probably early next year to be able to get them on. And our Halloween party, annual Halloween party, is this Sunday from 4 to 6. That's a change. It used to be Saturday nights. We've now changed it to Sundays from 4 till 6, and it'll be in our fire station. That is this Sunday. That's all I
Very
have.
good. Thank you. All right, Jackie, this is it. And if you would, please use the mic.
I just have 2 items. We've been working with Service and Building Department, Jim and Mike, on compiling lists of streets for crack sealing, mill and fill, and pulled-up repairs for starting next year, and prioritizing those based on need. And then we're also waiting on an engineering drainage submittal for Gardens of Highland Phase 2 for the drainage problems they've been having there, and that's supposed to be anticipated by the end of this week. So that's all I have.
Very good. And young lady, I want to tell you, I've been hearing nothing but good things about you, really. Thank you. All right, Joe, do you have anything?
Nothing, Mayor.
All right, moving on to unfinished business, new business.
Mr. Mayor, I do have something I'd like to say. I was watching Cable 9 here recently, and our city purchased some iPads, and I want to say that after watching that and reviewing that, that I absolutely do not have any problems with my iPad. I don't know about, and I asked the other council members, and they don't have any, and I don't want our city to think that, our residents think that that money was just thrown away, because personally, it was not. These iPads have really helped us in, working on legislation and so
What
forth.
was said?
It said that all of our iPads were broke.
Who said that?
Oh, I don't really want to get into that, but I did hear it, and it was stated. And,
Really, how much do our iPads save us annually? Scott, do you have any idea? You did a little study on that.
I don't have those figures with me, but I mean, just from the ease of communication between, council and staff, I'm sure it's a
Right.
time saver.
like, I use mine up here, and I love this. I mean, it is great, and it's so much better. If we want to look up something, if we want to look up any of our legislation that we've worked on and everything, it's all right here. Josephine downloads everything on here, and it's all there on our website. And while we're sitting up here, we're able to look at stuff, what's going on, and it's very beneficial to the city of Macedonia. And I just want to say that my iPad is not broke.
Reed, I want to point out something. You always have these people who, they don't want to go forward. They're just wedded to the past. We didn't need cell phones. Then we didn't need personal computers. Then we didn't need laptop computers. Then now we don't need iPads. And the whole thing about it is that there are certain people who lack the vision to go forward, and there are those who do have the vision to go forward. And this council has selected iPads. iPads are now commonplace in the corporate landscape and in the governmental landscape. And, it brings me back to when I was in college. We studied a group of people called the Luddites who hated machinery so much that they used to go to factories and actually destroy it and blow it up. But the fact of the matter is, if you take a look at what this council has accomplished from the standpoint of the budget, we added new policemen, we added new firemen. This is a winning team.
Right, thank you, Mr. Martin. I just don't want the residents to think that we have thrown away money that was stated on Cable 9, and I don't want the residents to think that, because I really don't think that money has been thrown away. I think this has helped the city in a great deal to be able to work for you. Thank you.
Okay, any other business? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you for coming. Please come again.
Good timing.